Hello, everyone. My name is Ibrahim Adepoju, and I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Times and AI-powered accounting software. And I would love to welcome you again to another episode of our podcast titled The Future Ledger. And today we're going to be talking about preparing finance professionals for the AI evolution. And in this episode, I'm going to be bringing a very amazing individual, someone who is passionate about teaching, someone who is passionate about technology, someone who is well known in the account tech space, and the convener of the account tech summit. And I would love to introduce Oluwatoyin Olufon, who is going to be our guest for today. And Oluwatoyin Olufon, can you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Oh, you've done the introduction already, but I will hit to your question. So just as you said, my name is Toyin Olufon. I'm the principal partner at Olufon Consulting, where we get our hands dirty to help businesses, optimize their goal by transforming and automating their business processes. Also the convener of the Account Tech Summit, as you said, and also the founder of Tech Accountant. I feel that it's important for that.
Yeah. Everything is important. Our audience is who is going to be, giving them some insight today. Thanks so much for that's very amazing. Because I see a very good relationship between your feed, what you have been doing, what you have been advocating, and the topic for today. For the past few episodes, we've been talking about AI, CFOs, everything, but the reality is everything has been theoretical for a while. Everybody have just been reading about what AI can do in this space, and we need to prepare ourselves. Professionals need to prepare themselves for this evolution. And the first thing I want to ask is that if we're preparing ourselves for something, if I'm preparing for an exam, I need to read that particular subject effectively for that particular examination. And there's a particular skill that people need to acquire for them to see themselves fit for this profession. There are people that if you cannot use a laptop or a computer, you cannot learn software engineering. So if you want to prepare yourself for the AI evolution and the adoption of AI in accounting space, what are the skills that you need to acquire?
Okay. I think it's important that every finance professional comes to terms with the fact that AI is here to stay, and it is transforming the way that we work. Even if you've not had an experience of it, it's happening, and with time, it's going to get to you. Now, for you to be able to function optimally as a finance professional in this AI-driven world that we found ourselves, the first thing you must know is that it's important that you upskill. So when I say upskill, in what areas? I've always said that data analysis is the barest minimum skill right now that I believe that every finance professional must have. You know why? Because if you understand data analytics, to a large extent also, you will understand the workings of an AI, or you will know how to optimize or use AI properly. So I would say that the data analytics skills is something that is very important. Data visualization as well is very important that you know. Then a little of programming as well, when we say Python, SQL, so that you can query database. Because as I said, our roles are evolving. Before now, as finance professionals, typically what we do, we are in charge of the data entry and things like that. Now, if those kind of jobs will be taken away or will be automated, right? The point is that what are the jobs that will open up to us? And that's why we have to develop our skills towards this job. And that's why I'm saying that it's important that you understand some programming. I'm not saying you should become a core programmer, but it's important you understand R. It's important you understand Python for coding. It's important you understand SQL. It will really give you that competitive edge and make you to be more effective as a new finance professional. Yeah. And there are still more skills anyway, but I think let me just mention those ones. And I think, let me also say this as well. Every finance professional right now must, first of all, also understand how AI works. I think every one of us, we are conversant with, at least we have Meta AI. As far as you have WhatsApp, you have Meta AI. So I want to believe that we are playing around, right? But something also that I'm just realizing that it's a skill everyone must develop is also how to prompt. I thought that it's a skill that everybody has, but I'm beginning to realize that no, even though you have Meta AI on your phone, I still see that a lot of people are unable to optimize the use of Meta AI, and that's because they don't know how to create prompts that will enable the AI to bring out, the appropriate information or answer that you require.
Yeah, I think that's very correct. Because if we look at field like accounting, as you just said, accounting is a data back profession. And the one thing why I'm so much interested about AI in the accounting space is because accounting is just a data centric profession. Anything you're doing is based on data. Is either you're dealing with the data you have for you, or you are referencing some other data source to make decisions. So if you're dealing with this volume of data, be very sure that your profession is going to have a lot of AI is going to hit a lot of that part of profession, because AI too is based on data. Everything about AI is data. We start talking about data before we end up with AI. So that was why it's a very important skill, because understanding the analytics of data is very, very important. Sometimes just like what you said about prompting, most of the time the AI, the generative AI presently has already been trained, and has already been trained with a lot of data. But now there's a need to retrieve this data, and you're talking about query. So query too is transforming. There is the normal SQL query that I need to use myself, and there's also the query where I also use my natural language, to do this work. And like what we're doing at times, we are also collaborating between these two sides, because we are like data analysts. We understand the accounting. We are data analysts, we are programmers, and then we are also coming to the side of the AI. So the difference between the professional accountant and the AI is the knowledge of the accounting data and processing the accounting data. Sometimes when you write some prompts to ChatGPT is general. It's trained for a lot of fields. It can return a journal entry that is very incorrect for you. But if I'm someone in the profession and I'm able to, first of all, generate some query to first manipulate my data, structure it, understand what I want it to be analyzed before now prompting AI to do some things for me, then it's going to be very accurate. And that's what makes everyone the profession they are. So I feel like these three things, data, ability to query the data, and leverage generative AI are very, very important. So let's look at the impact on people's jobs. A lot of things have always been trading. Everyone's fear is always about AI is going to take my job. AI is going to take my job. I think that's the biggest fear for everyone. And even no matter how true it is that AI is something big, some people find it difficult to believe AI because they feel like this thing is a threat. So let's look at the job, because it's very important. I can't become jobless because of the robots, But what do you see as the impact of AI on the accounting profession, like the job, precisely?
Okay, the truth. What I've seen so far is that the fear, if people are not careful, the fear that AI will take their job would destroy them even before they get to experience the takeover of the AI. So it's very important that as finance professionals, first of all, don't live in fear. Now, let me continue with what I'm saying. I think the people, or would I say the finance professionals that AI will take their job, are the finance professionals that refuse to adapt and adopt AI in their work. Those are the only finance professionals that would lose their job. It's important that every finance professional see AI as another tool that makes us to do our work in a more effective, easier, and with greater productivity, right? If we see it from that perspective, I think it's going to help a lot in knowing how we can optimize the use of AI in our work. So in clear time, AI is not taking anybody's job except the person that refused to upskill, And there's also this saying that is always said, and I love so much, which is, they said AI will make smart people smarter. So as a finance professional right now, if you think you're very smart and you want to become smarter, the secret, before it becomes public knowledge, is that, adopt AI in the way you do your work at the moment. Try and understand AI. Try and understand how, you can use it to optimize your work. I will always say that AI is that superpower that every finance professional right now should be craving to know how to use, because And what I'm telling you is not just something I've read. It's something also that I use in my work on a day-to-day basis. I've seen how AI has boosted my productivity. Probably a work that would have taken me 2 hours to do, but because I have AI to assist me in part of, the process of getting the work done, in 15 minutes I'm done with the work and I'm able to do more. So in case you've been wondering also how I'm able to do so much, okay, yeah, you have it. This is one of my secrets, which is I leverage on AI. And that's why it's very important also that finance professionals also, we start adopting it. We start embracing it instead of being fearful of it coming to take our job.
Yeah, I think that's just it. I think AI will make someone that is very smarter, and someone that is very faster. Because if we look at something like maybe as an entrepreneur or someone that is an employer of labor, you get to see that when a team member is very smart and the team member is also very fast, it's going to impact that particular organization positively. And if you are to hire people and you see someone who is delivering very fast and someone who is delivering very smart, I don't care how you're doing it, but if the company is growing and it's making impacts, then you will be on the top, of the league. But that led to the third question, which comes in the area of data privacy and security.
Yeah.
Because when we're dealing with AI, especially most of the AI tools, we are also a victim of this. We are also a cloud platform. One thing that we try to do is we delay a lot of release, a lot of solution, because we need to keep evaluating the security measure around it, the data privacy policy. So we've been talking about our Times AI feature for almost a month or two now. But every time we try to release, we keep doing a lot of rerun, a lot of check, a lot of things. Accuracy is on one side, also how we're able to build confidence, data storage, and a lot of things. So there's been a scenario where you see people pushing data to the AI. So this is the fear. When we're selling AI to a lot of people, they ask the question, is my data secure? So now, I think something that every organization needs to look into. Okay, we are adopting AI, we've acquired the skill, we already know how to leverage on it efficiently in our job, but is our company safe? So what's your own perspective, when we're looking at privacy and even the bias in AI?
Bias in AI, yes. So I think also it's important that everyone have this at the back of their mind, that in as much as AI has that superpower, I mean, at a click, it gives us the response we want, right? It's still very important that we have that professional skepticism at the back of our mind, because when it comes to AI, there's something called the algorithm bias. You also have data bias as well. So the algorithm bias may have occurred while the AI was being trained, without even the programmers knowing that that's what is happening. And that's why it's important that even as users of AI, that we are ethical in the way we use it. And that we also try to understand the output from AI. So before I come back to AI, it's just like the typical accounting software. I remember when the typical accounting software was everywhere, like before, and in fact, I remember that one of those accounting software, when they are selling the software, they will literally tell business owners, you don't need accountants, you can do it by yourself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm like, yeah, to some extent that's true, but we all know that that's not true. They are just trying to put their product. So eventually what happened is that these business owners, they realize that yes, when it comes to data, there's always data on their software. But when they look at the output, they are wondering, this is not in tandem with my reality. What am I trying to say? When it comes to technology, it is garbage in, garbage out. So that's why it's very, very important that in as much as, it gives you an output, first of all, you must be able to understand the pattern or the reason for that output. The moment you can't understand it, then it shouldn't be an information that you should put out there. Because as we said, there's something called the algorithm bias that could occur on an AI platform. What about the data bias as well, which could happen even at the time of sorting for your data? How are you certain that when you are getting the data, they are true? They represent what they're supposed to represent. So that's why it's very important that you still have your thinking cap on. Your professional skepticism is on top gear. Looking at even the output to be certain that does this, what I'm saying, is it even in tandem, with what is normally obtainable. Don't just believe that any output you get from an AI-powered accounting software, if accurate, like it's 100% accurate. You still have that responsibility. The onus is still on you to ensure that the output is correct. And by so doing, when you are very observant, when you pay attention to this, you'll be able to spot, whether there are biases, either from the algorithm or from the data side, and you know how to correct it. So that's why it's very important. And secondly, you have talked about data security. I think it's a big deal. And every organization, in as much as we are clamoring that every organization, yes, embrace technology, the sad reality is that also cybersecurity risk is also increasing by doing so. And that's why it's very important that any organization, when you want to adopt any technology, be sure that, the organization that you are probably using their product, if it's not a bespoke, solution, that you are probably using their solution rather, is an organization that is ethically sound and they prioritize, cyber security. That is very, very key. Because the loss of data, I think we've said data is the new oil. I don't know if you've heard of that before. Data is the new oil. And the implication of that also is that if for whatever reason you lose your data, you get hacked, there's a cyber threat to your company's data. That could have a significant negative impact on your business. I have an incident that occurred to one of our clients. It's a conglomerate, and they actually had a central database where all the subsidiaries around the world were plugged into. And they were hacked. And trust me, it was a big mess. They had to pay millions of dollars to be able to at least get back their data and it doesn't become public knowledge, because they know that data, if it becomes public knowledge for whatever reason, could have a lot of damning effects. And also it's important that even when your customers are giving you your data as well, maybe you're an organization that you collect customers' data, that you are able to, give them that confidence that their data is safe with you. Nobody wants to do business with any organization that they know that maybe they'll wake up tomorrow and they'll see their data, the talk of the town, or they see their information everywhere. No organization wants to work with such organization. And that's why it's very, very important that, these things are properly thought out, that you pay attention to all these details. Yes, there is a technology buzz at the moment, but at the same time, when it's being adopted, it should be adopted carefully and systematically, putting into consideration all these other things that I've spoken about.
Yeah, I think that's it. Because you said a lot. And if we look at the data bias, the algorithm bias, as you said precisely, I think one of the things that I pick that have always been, we have also been emphasizing at times, is the fact that I think ever since we've been working on AI-related products, we do not still see a possibility of AI replacing an accountant. We see that just like every other, so you see the conversation like your AI co-pilot, your AI companion. So they don't say your AI pilot, they don't say your AI boss. So it's your companion or your co-pilot. Because every information on every generative AI or ChatGPT related, or even times AI will put notice letting you know that this might be wrong, this might be incorrect, and you need to consult a professional or an expert to review this information. So don't just say AI gives me this. So I think the biggest strength of AI to date is speed. Yes, speed. AI can be smart, AI can be think, but that's in a vertical like profession like accounting, even in programming engineering, there's still a need to review this thing. And that's why I feel like educating yourself in your niche and learning to use AI is have to go line by line. Because if you say that, I already know how to use GPT, I don't need to read again, I don't need to do any research again, I just depend on every information you're getting, you might be wrong. And if you look at also data, you might be on a particular server where they are training a lot of data at the same time. And the biggest fear, for even myself or anyone, is I don't want to be discussing or be getting insight from my data and someone else company's data just glitch in mistakenly. I know there was a scenario where I think a company launched a new AI product and an image from someone's private information was used as a result for another person, and they have to quickly pause the service. So that's one of the biggest things, So I feel like it's a lot of things, and we just need to think very well before you choose the solution we want to use. We can't just go to a platform that is meant for graphic design and look at and work and be working with an AI from that system, because we need to start working on something connected to our vertical. Just like we're doing our time, accounting, AI with accounting, where we can easily check a lot of info and give you the right information. So yeah, this is a very interesting topic. Honestly, if we want to start talking about a lot of things about this AI, we won't stop. But let's just have a practical scenario, so that I can call it a day. If we want to let people know, someone who's just trying to start with this AI, maybe I'm a fresh graduate, or I'm a profession that I've been addicted, or I've been used to a particular maybe manual system for a while, but I want to put my skill in this AI evolution. You already told us some things, but I want to know step by step. Most of the time, people like myself, we're always interested in step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3. What advice can you give me if I want to navigate my journey, if I want to adopt this kind of thing in my organization, if you want to deploy something in our organization? What advice can you give us? Like, okay, what do you think we should do step by step that will help us to know that we are fully prepared for the adoption of AI in our profession?
I think the first thing is there has to be like a pre-assessment for every organization. Pre-assessment, what do I mean by that? First of all, you must be able to answer the question, which part of our business do we need AI to help us improve on, right? That's number one. Number two, also, you need to look at the present skill sets that you have in your organization. Do they have the capacity? Even if you deploy, do they have the capacity to use? If the answer is no, then you have to think about upskilling, your workforce in the right way, your workforce to know how to use, even if it's to lay a strong foundation. So now the good thing, and those were the skills that we had spoken about, initially. There's a foundation for you to be able to optimally use AI. You must understand data analytics. So the point is that they can start upskilling in this area even before the full implementation is done in your organization. Second and thirdly as well is change management. You must have a plan. Remember that anytime you are trying to adopt something new in any organization, there's always that change resistance. And that's just because of human nature. We are used to doing certain things a certain way. It's usually difficult for us to change. So you must have a change management plan so that whatever new technology or AI-powered system you're bringing in, would be optimally or effectively used by the staff at it. That's very important. Secondly, also is, I think I said you need to outline your needs. Then you need to now look for a solution that solves that need. That is very, very important. And even at the point of implementation as well, make sure you implement in batches. Don't try and implement all at once. As an organization that has about 500 staff, you've been operating manually, all of a sudden, then you just buy this big solution and you want to transform the whole organization from supply chain to inventory all at the same time. If you are not careful, the company can actually collapse. So you have to, when it comes to implementation, you have to be very strategic. You have to have a proper plan and make sure that your implementation is done in silos, little by little, so that you can manage the whole situation. But I think one last thing I will also say is that choosing the right solution is also very, very important. And that's why sometimes it's good that you speak to experienced, professionals or consultants in that area also to help you, select the best solution that will really help your organization. And I think the last thing I want to also say is that for organizations that are looking maybe for the first time right now This is the first time your organization is trying to get an accounting software. The world has evolved. Don't just go and buy a normal accounting software. Please buy an AI-powered accounting software. It makes no sense. If right now you're just about to implement, the use of automating your accounting, please don't buy the normal accounting software. You will be playing. That would say that you are still in the past. Meanwhile, the world is already progressing. And that's why platforms like Times AI, they come in very, very, very handy. And I'm not saying this because I'm having this conversation with them. I've been privy to see the capacity of what their software can do. And trust me, that software is a game changer. It is in my own opinion, it is the dream of every finance professional. Let me tell you why. Because it makes your work easier. Oh, God. I don't want to tell you a lot of things, but it makes your work easier. All those work that you'd have spent time, maybe you're doing reconciliation, you're doing reconciliation, or, the typical accounting software whereby you have to manually calculate prepayment. No, it does it for you. So you can imagine a software at a click, it does everything for you. And that's because it's powered by AI. And that's why I'm recommending for any business right now, if you just want to have a job, you want to automate your finance, please buy an AI-powered accounting software. And please make sure you drop me a message after you have an experience. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. I think yeah, we are partners in this, and you have someone that also has a first-hand experience with Times AI. And as you said, I like one part, is the aspect of deploying batches, because I'm also taking a lot of the biggest advice you can give anyone to adopt AI, the bigger your organization is, don't put all your egg inside one basket at the same time. It's something that is progressive. And the reason why, one of the things that we also did down, this is your workflow, what you do, and these are the tools that can work for you. And that was one thing we're also trying to do with the Times AI system. We want to make it very dynamic. The age of locking people into a software flow that is not easily evolve or change is going to an end. And for AI to take charge, everybody needs to have the power, have to be in control, of what they have. And that's where consultant comes in, being able to deploy a solution for you in line with what you need. So I really like that part, because I think it's a very key point that everybody needs to do. I've seen people that just want to do it and just get someone and start moving everything with department. That's very risky. It's very risky. So thanks so much for that, and I really appreciate your time. The honest thing is, I learn a lot from every sessions that we're having, and I can't wait to see amazing things that you also get to do or put out there. As the evolution is going, there are a lot of people like yourself out there who are really pushing this, and we really appreciate you. I appreciate your time also, and we look forward to seeing you in another episode. If you give us a chance, we surely reach out, and discuss further. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.